Hello friends and fans, welcome back to John HG Gaming, and in this episode I'm going to showcase Prison Architect Alpha 10. This is a pretty nice game by Introversion Software. So what you do is you play as the architect as well as the management of a prison, which you're going to design by yourself. So let me show you my prison that I've designed. So these guys over here are the prisoners over here. They're all trying to go in, back to their cell of course. And the flashing thing over here, that's a metal detector, just to make sure that these guys are not hiding contraband items, such as knives and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, the place is a little filthy. That's because I've been a little stingy and not saving up to get a bit more janitors and so on and so forth. Alright, so right now that's not enough funds, so we're gonna let the game run a little bit more, get some money before we can do a little bit more upgrades. Alright, so let me show you around. This is my garbage area, and that's the deliveries. That's where all the incoming goods will be at. I have a door over here and a staff door. So my guys have the main staff door to carry out their tasks. Alright, so that's basically the entrance. Moving in, I have the kitchen over here, and that's the canteen for the prisoners to have their meals. And right next to them is the common room. I have a pool table over here, a small TV over here, and these are the solitary cells that I have, which means to say that if there is any fighting and so on and so forth, they will be sent to the solitary room and be over there on their own by themselves. Alright. As you can see, I have a lot of phone booths over here. The phones are meant to allow the prisoners to call back home and speak with their relatives, so that makes them happy and that makes me happy as well. Alright, these are the officers. We have a chief, we have a warden and a foreman, and some chefs over here as well as some guards. Alright, so one of my guards is patrolling in the yard over here. There are some phones over here as well as a weights bench for my guys to do their weight. So let me take the opportunity to do some refurnishing. Alright, so these are the cells and this is the shower area. The shower area consists of some of the drains as well as the shower heads. The cells are made 3 by 2. They are made smaller, I guess, pretty compact and cramped, but all the essentials are in there. Alright, so this guy over here is sleeping, these guys are sleeping because it's 2 AM in the morning. Alright, so that's about it. Each cell must be 3 by 2 and you must have a bed and a toilet inside. So that's the minimum requirements of it all. I have a water pump as well as a power station over here. And let me see what else I can showcase to you. I think I can showcase to you my laundry area. So you can have a laundry area where your inmates or your prisoners can be made to wash their own clothes and pack it nicely in the laundry basket and have new change of clothes every day. This is the workshop. There is a workshop press, which is the hydraulic press, and the saw over here. They can make stuff which I will be able to sell and make some income on my own. So right now I have a bit of income. I'm going to try and save it up. My guard is patrolling over here, which I think he should be inside. So let's see if we can tweak the deployments. Let's do the patrols inside over here. Tap these areas because my guards should patrol inside the cell and not outside. You can designate areas to be maximum security and minimum security. Let's put this as minimum security. These places I designate as staff only. I have a morgue, a storage area, and a visitation area. So if let's say the relatives of the prisoners come over here to visit them, they'll be transferred to the visitation area to meet with the prisoners over here. Alright, we have a lone doctor that's running around, and that is because I did not designate a specific area as the medical bay. And I think I'm gonna keep it this way because I find that once you designate an area, the doctor will not move around very much and I would prefer my doctor moving around, healing people a lot. Now let me showcase to you some of the areas which I think is pretty nice. I would say I love the metal detectors over here. I have a couple at the front door. So these metal detectors are meant to find contraband items, because if let's say your inmates, right, or prisoners, they have knives, batons, or forks and those kind of nonsense, they will try and hurt each other and they will start fights. And that's very undesirable. Alright, so that's morning at 7 AM. They will start to shower. What I can do is I can decide the regime. I can decide what my prisoners will do every day. So what I do is after shower, I make them work and give them a bit of free time before getting some food into them. Make them work again and give them a bit more free time and let them run around the yard over here that we have before eating, showering and sleeping. So that's one day for them. What I can choose to change is the meal quantity as well as the variety. I think this has something to do with their happiness, but I haven't played around with the meals too much. I'm pretty happy with what I have right now. Alright, so the other thing is the prisoners. You can choose to take in high risk, normal risk or low risk prisoners. I would suggest you start by taking low risk prisoners. And the reason is because not all of the lowest prisoners are really low risk. Let me see if I can find a couple. They have a story. For example, this guy is Matthias Norpen Anderson. As you can see, right? He has a recent misconduct of injury to staff. He has been fighting with my guards. He has been found with contraband items. He is destroying stuff. So he's famous for inventing some tablet thing. And he went on a killing spree. So I completely disagree that this guy is a minimum security guy. He should be leveled up to a maximum security guy because he has a history of killing. The only reason why he's classified as minimum security is because he was not convicted for the murder. So I'm not sure why he wasn't convicted for the murder, but from my perspective, I'm gonna put him as maximum security. So as I'm saying, bring in low risk prisoners does not mean that they are truly low risk. It just means that these guys are not convicted for some very atrocious crime. But if you read their backstory, then you may find that they are associated with a lot of very crazy crimes. For example, this guy is sentenced for doing bribery, blackmail. This looks pretty mild to me. But he was having some contraband items which we managed to find. And that is because we have metal detectors all around. Alright, so now these guys are wearing orange clothing. So you can change their risk manually by going to them individually. Criminal damage, I think I'm gonna up you to normal security, for example. Alright, so once I do that, then there is a variant in the types of prisoners that we have. And as you might have noticed, there's one guy over here who is dead. And that's the reason because he was involved in a fight and obviously he was beaten to death. Alright, so now we have some visitors over here. These guys are Broomfield's father and... Alright, so I'm not sure. I assume that's the wife maybe? The reason we don't have vision in this area is because we don't have guards. So if we were to send a guard over there, through the staff door over here, we would be able to have vision. Let's send a guy in, and we can take a look at these two people over here. Yep, that's his wife and that's his dad. So now they are waiting for Broomfield to be sent to the visitation room. Alright. So having a guard patrol around is a pretty good idea because this would mean that you have vision all around. Let's take a look at the laundry. Laundry's undone. I'm not sure why. Got Regiment, now it's work time. Shouldn't they be working? Alright, so I forgot to deploy them in terms of the jobs. Let's deploy them. Get them a couple of jobs. Get them some cleaning jobs and some workshop jobs to make money for myself. Alright, not really for myself, for the prison, so they can hire more guards and so on and so forth. Alright, so that's how it is. Some of their family members are waiting. Okay, so that's about it for now. Let me show you the planning aspect of it. So what you can do is, I can designate certain areas over here. For example, let me see that I want to extend this area a bit. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna up this area over here and say that I'm gonna convert this area into another cell block like this, and we connect it through the door. So this white lines over here will remind myself of what I intend to do. I think I'm gonna move the yard upwards. So let's move the yard upwards by designating another area over here. Let's make a little bit of changes so that everything is very nice. Alright, so this will be my yard, and I'm gonna extend the cell block right over here. Okay, so now my prisoners are in the yard, exercising, making phone calls and all that stuff. Right, so these guys are complaining. They're complaining about clothes, which I completely agree. Because no one was working the laundry just now. Alright, so that's the guy whom we place as normal security. So each of these guys have a story behind. Some a bit more interesting than the others, and you can take a look at their convictions, what they've done, how many family members that they have. And if you find that, or if you see them flashing any knives and stuff, which you might, you can choose to search prisoner, for example, and your guards will search him and see if he's holding on to any items which he should not be. So this guy is pretty clean, so we're gonna let him back. Let him have some food. Alright, so our chef is working very hard. Okay, everything's pretty busy all around. Over here we see that's the amount of money we have. We see that we have 3 prison guards in all together. And we have 22 prisoners, although we have 24 slots. So in theory, we can bring in a couple more prisoners, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait for a little bit more money before expanding the area over here. Alright, so it looks like the guy we selected is in the shower. And I think if I have a bit more money, I'm going to get a janitor to start cleaning the area up. It's pretty filthy. Yep, look at all these footprints, them walking in and out of the yard. Yep, all these needs to be clean in my opinion. Alright, so they are sleeping right now, so let's see if you can change the regime and make them work a little bit more tomorrow. So select work and let's fill up their time slots. And yep, let's give them some time to eat and make them work. It will just be one day. I'm gonna try and let them do as much work as they can, clear up their chores, and yeah, hopefully everything is done and the prison can be a little bit more hygienic. So that's pretty nice. I think I'm gonna expand the area up top as well, try to make it another cell block. So that would be pretty nice. The income that we get a federal grant, and in addition we get $100 for each prisoner that we have. So we are being paid $2,200 each day at 12 midnight. And on top of that, we get some federal grant. So that's pretty nice overall. So let's let the game run a little. Put it on high speed or something like cheetah speed. So these guys are sleeping. I'm gonna be nice and not interrupt them very much. Although what you can do is you can make them wake up earlier and start working. Let's try doing that. Why not let's make them work at 4 AM? You know? Maybe just for one day where we try and get everything done. Non-stop working, and let's give you a shower. Let's give you some shower time. Some eating time. Let's give you a bit more eating time. No, eat. Yep, that's a bit more time for your meals. And yeah, let's me wake up earlier to do all the cleaning, all the chores and all the good stuff. It builds character. So let's go with that for now. Alright. So my guards, they should be going in. Sometimes I have a complaint with the pathfinding of the game, but in general everything seems pretty nice. This game is still in the alpha version. Alright, so why are you not sleeping?